Well, you're listening to Faith Radio, and Leighton Robertson is joining me today, and she is the 2021 female recipient of the Jimmy Hitchcock Award. Jimmy Hitchcock Award honors young athletes for Christian leadership. It's a program of the YMCA of Greater Montgomery. Leighton is a senior at the Montgomery Academy. Her primary sports are basketball and soccer, and Leighton is joining us today to just talk about the impact of this award and to let us know just a bit about her life and her faith. And I have to ask you this, you go to the Montgomery Academy. So tell me just a bit about your journey. How is it that you ended up at MA, and tell us just a little bit about your sporting journey as well.
Well, I started at MA in kindergarten. I have three older siblings, and they all went to MA as well, kindergarten through 12th grade. It's been an incredible journey. I love MA. The teachers pushed me in my academics to excel and to work hard always. And in sports, I've had a lot of different coaches that have all been incredible and taught me so much about hard work and just always giving 100%. And they've made me love the games of basketball and soccer.
Well, just about this time last year, I was interviewing someone from the Montgomery Academy whose name was Robertson. In a sense, history is repeating itself. Your brother was last year's Jimmy Hitchcock recipient. And so here you have a home, two siblings are Hitchcock Award winners. There's an emphasis on faith, an emphasis on athletics, academics. What is it? Tell me just a bit about your home and some of the values that you learned in your family.
My family is really important to me, and William was the recipient last year, and he's someone that I really look up to. And me and my siblings have always been really involved in our youth group, and I think that's been something that's really helped me throughout my high school career, just having a strong faith and a foundation. And then especially with my siblings, we're all really close in age, and so I go to them for advice with my faith and life and anything. And so it's really nice to have those close relationships with people that are also Christians with you.
Well, let's talk about your spiritual journey just a bit. In fact, at the dinner that recognized the different Hitchcock nominees and recipients, there was a comment made, something to the effect, my paraphrase here is that you were so active in the church that you could have been a staff member at the church. No, I hope that's a pretty accurate paraphrase, but tell me what it is about your faith, your relationship with Christ that really drives you to be involved in the work of the church.
I think just as I've grown up, having really important Christian relationships in my life is something that has encouraged me so much in my faith and pushed me to grow closer to God and get to know him personally. And so I think me being involved in the youth group is kind of going back on that, where I'm trying to build relationships with kids that are younger than me and, mentor. And then I've also grown really close with the staff and my youth minister and our girls coordinator, Shay. So it's just been a really cool experience to get to know all the people in our youth group.
Tell me how it is that you apply your faith to, well, how you live your life every day and the different activities in which you're involved.
I think it's something that I think about a lot in what I'm doing, and, just trying to do everything to glorify God and not myself, and knowing that I wouldn't have anything that I have without him. And it's just such a blessing that God has shown me what it means to love, and to love a sinner like me is something that inspires me to love others.
Well, your primary sports are basketball and soccer. And tell me about your motivation to do well on the court or on the field.
I love competition. I've grown up with three other older siblings, so we competed a lot, and they made me super competitive. But I think just giving 100% is just if I don't give 100%, there's always that, like, what else could I have done to excel in something that I'm putting my mind to. And so I think when I give 100%, that just leaves me with no regrets and knowing that I've done the best that I can. And then the outcome is what it is.
The Jimmy Hitchcock Award is an award for not only leadership, but as we might say, Christian leadership for those that are involved in athletics. And so it's really an all-encompassing award, a number of different components. So what do you think makes a good leader?
I think that leading by example is something that's really important. So just always doing your best to do the right thing and be kind to everyone and love everyone and push yourself to be the best that you can to help the team as a whole.
Leighton Robertson joining us today here on Faith Radio. And tell me just a bit about what the future holds.
Well, I'm undecided on where I'm going to college, but I've gotten it down to UVA, Alabama, and Wake Forest, hopefully to play soccer at one of those schools.
Excellent. A couple of ACC schools and, of course, the University of Alabama as well. Leighton, thank you so much for spending some time with us today here on Faith Radio.
Thank you.
The YMCA of Greater Montgomery has announced its recipients of the 2021 Jimmy Hitchcock Award. It's an award that honors young athletes for Christian leadership, and the male recipient, as announced at a banquet on Tuesday night, is Miller McCarthy. He is a senior at Alabama Christian Academy. ACA primary sport is football, and Miller is joining us today to talk about this overall experience. So, Miller McCarthy, let me welcome you to the Meeting House here on Faith Radio. Glad to have you along.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's begin just by giving our listeners an idea about your overall journey. Take us through your journey to Alabama Christian Academy and how it is that you became involved there and became involved specifically in sports.
Absolutely. So I grew up for the first 5 or 6 years of my life up in Henderson, Tennessee. And then we moved down here one summer, and my dad took a job over at Faulkner as the head baseball coach. And I went to public school for a couple of years. And then in 6th grade, I came to ACA. And the way I got into football was one of my dad's ex-players actually got hired here as one of the football coaches, and he convinced me to join the team 7th grade year.
So did you play baseball along the way also?
Ironically, no, I have not played baseball at all. A lot of people think that that's quite odd, but, it is what it is.
Absolutely. So tell me just a bit about what drives you. What makes you want to do your best, whether it be on the athletic field or in the classroom or in life in general?
I'd probably say just wanting to make my family proud and all the people that have supported me along the way. I've had so many people give me support and love and all of that stuff. So I just want to make them proud, and I don't want to let them down.
Well, you are recognized here with the Hitchcock Award for Christian leadership. Let's talk about that leadership piece, if you would, here on the beginning. When we talk about those two words, what do you think makes a good leader?
I would say a combination between being vocal and then also being able to balance what you say with what you do and being able to back it up with your actions.
Well, let's talk now about that Christian piece. Tell me just a bit about your spiritual journey.
Yeah, so since we moved here, I've been going to a Landmark Church of Christ, and I'm a member of the youth group there. And I've grown up in church all my life from as far back as I can remember. I've been in church, and God has just always been a huge part of my life.
Let's talk about an element of your overall life story. You're involved in an organization called Heart to Heart, as I understand it, and it is centered around adoption and foster care. Tell me about the importance of being involved in that to you and your own life story.
Yeah, so Heart to Heart is basically just an organization that helps foster parents and adoptive parents get the resources they need for their children. And this is important to me because, for one, I'm adopted, but also all three of my siblings are either adopted or foster. So being able to support this organization is a super huge part of my life as well as theirs.
Well, Miller McCarthy is joining us today, senior at Alabama Christian Academy. So what's coming up in the future? What's next for you?
I'm planning on
Graduation, of
attending.
course.
Yes, of course, graduation, one step at a time.
Yeah.
But after graduation, I'm planning on attending the University of Alabama and studying biology so that I can hopefully get into med school.
Very good. Miller, it's great to have the chance to chat with you again. Congratulations. You are the male recipient of the 2021 Jimmy Hitchcock Award. What does that mean to you?
It's really just a huge honor to be considered for this award, first of all, but then also that the committee saw fit that I was good enough to be awarded this great honor. So I'm just really super humbled by this opportunity, and I hope to live up to the expectations.
Very good. Miller, thank you so much for spending some time with us today here on Faith Radio.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.